Hello. Day 26. We are nearing the end. It's a Monday. Another Monday. Monday madness. So yes, it is Monday the 30th of November, the last day of November in 2020. And I don't know, I was listening to music the other day and then I just thought, why not have a discussion on K-pop? Because the problem is, whenever you mention to anybody that you listen to K-pop, even if it's not the only thing you listen to exclusively and you may just occasionally listen to a song here and there, the first thing everyone says is, oh my god, you just love the guys, don't you? You think they're cute, they think they're good looking. And most of the time is, I listen to things on my like Spotify or Apple Music, and so I don't actually see the videos. So you saying I do it because they're good looking means nothing to me, because I have no idea what they look like. So yeah, but this reason I put this in is because there's two kind of directions I wanted this to go in. One direction was that there's the divide of old K-pop and new K-pop. So I started listening, I think back in 2017, so not even that long, about 3 years now. But I started off with the old thing, so I started off with M Black and 2PM. Like, not even that old actually, more like 2009 times. So M Black, 2PM, TVXQ, obviously Big Bang. Yeah, so that sort of stuff, and then it kind of moved towards like EXO and BTS. 17 were a bit newer, NCT's newer, Winner. I do prefer the boy bands over the girl bands, I'll be honest. I don't know why, I just their songs are either hella like girly and poppy and ridiculous, like really cringe, or it's super fun times, like sexy wise. So it's like they have no in between. So that's why I don't really like them. Nothing against them, I just don't like some of their songs, a lot of the songs. So I prefer the boy bands, not even all of them actually. But yeah, so I started listening to that. So I started with the old and then moved on to the new. But like, even me as a fan, I'm not like a super fan. I don't buy the merchandise and stuff, because I never have done that, not with anyone in all of my years. I don't go to concerts because I do not like crowds. Plus, I don't enjoy the music quality there, and I find that just a bit annoying. It's just loud for me, I don't like it. Plus, then it's normally dark, and I have problems seeing in the dark without my glasses, which I can never find. So yeah, so I never actually buy the stuff, so I guess people would just say I'm not a fan. But that's their opinion. But there is this kind of weird competitiveness people have of who's the bigger fan and the things they do and stuff, and I'm thinking, personally I think if you want to support somebody or some people, then go ahead and do it, but there's no need for you to compete or make somebody else feel bad for not doing as much as you do. That doesn't mean they like them any less than you, it just means they like them in a different way. And like, because I follow quite a few groups and individuals on Twitter and Instagram, I see some of the stuff and people are like, there's people who literally organize all night streams in order to get the videos up to a certain number, and that's fine, they can do that, that's their time. And then there's others who can't do that, but then there's a third group who lie and say they can do it just so that they can fit in. And that's the group I don't understand, like the ones who exaggerate or lie or just want to make things weird and awkward. So yeah, so there was this one girl that was arguing with somebody, I don't know who they were arguing with, but they were saying that the other person's not a real ARMY because she's never bought any of their albums, and she's explaining I can't afford to buy their albums, which is why I stream their songs instead. So she's finding another way to support them, and that's absolutely fine. Like, you really don't have to justify yourself to other people. But she was making this girl feel like absolute rubbish for not being able to afford something that is expensive. Like, I think the albums are about, I don't know, I've never bought them, so I don't know, they're like £50, I think. I don't know. But it's a large chunk of money for people who, for anyone really, that doesn't have like a lot of money. Like, I would find it hard to justify spending that money when I could save it, or like give it to my parents, or buy shoes, because I haven't actually bought trainers for a while, and winter's coming. But yeah, so it's so it made me a little bit upset seeing that. Like, how are you going to make somebody feel bad for not being able to afford something that may be easy for you to get, but it's not the same for everybody else? And then there was another argument of who had been fans and ARMY for the longest. I know a lot of it it's like BTS based right now, mainly because, like I said, some of the old groups aren't still around anymore, and the younger generation don't really talk about them. You guys don't know what you're missing out. Like, look up Big Bang's old stuff, like when they were proper R&B. You'll love it. Even EXO for a while, actually. But yeah, so then there's people who are talking about how long they've been a fan for, and they're like, oh, I've been a fan since like 2015, 2016, 2017, and then they want to group themselves based on the year they started. And I'm thinking, there's really no need. If someone became a fan last week, or if someone became a fan 10 years ago, you still have things to talk about. Like, why would you need to segregate yourselves? Like, what is the point? So yeah, so that was an thing. And then there's the issues of perceptions. So people always perceive you as being a career boo whenever you say you're interested in K-pop. Like, I explained ages ago when I was in, I think, my language live stream, where I started learning the language, and then I listened to the music to help me with the language, and that's how I got into it. And the reason I picked Korean is because it has a standardized alphabet, and it has standardized ways of doing grammar, whereas a bit more difficult with Japanese and Mandarin. Not impossible, just a bit more difficult, and so out of the three, Korean seemed the easiest to self-learn. So that's how I got into the music, because I thought it was going to help. It kind of did, and it kind of didn't. Like, if I learned about vocabulary, I would be able to pick out those words in the songs, and I'd be like, okay, fair enough. But yeah. So, but there's like, people just like, they get such negative labels for some reason. I don't know why. Alright, I'll be honest. It's negative labels for the people of colour fans. We get called the career boos mostly. It does happen to the white fans as well, but I've noticed it more with the people of colour fans. I don't know if it's because of the people I follow or whatever algorithms are on my social medias, but that's what I've noticed. I'm not saying it doesn't happen to the white people, and they do get called career boos as well. I've seen that too, but I've seen it more with us. But either way, anyone calling somebody else a career boo for just liking the songs is what annoys me. Like, I think the term began when people really, really wanted to pretend to be Korean. So they wanted to like immerse themselves in Korean life so they could pretend that they're Korean, and that's what made them the career boo. Like, I did know a girl in school who literally did that. She told us she was Korean and she wasn't. So that sort of thing, I think, is the proper reason for it. Same with was it weeaboos for Japanese fans, where people say or think or want to be Japanese, like for whatever reason they don't like their own ethnicity, or they think that they would be cooler or more popular if they were a different one, and that's what they do. And people do it all the time with wanting to be white or wanting to be black, or saying that they're from other countries. Like, yeah, so people do it all the time, but it is annoying when you're like, you just listen. I don't even watch like the K-dramas. I used to, but I just don't have the time anymore. I'd rather read books rather than read subtitles. But yeah, so it was just I don't know, I was watching, there was a TikTok I was watching where a girl was saying she and her friend got into an argument because her white friend said, as a white K-pop fan, the white K-pop fans are being oppressed. And she was a black American girl, and she was saying, you're not oppressed, you may get seen negatively, but it's the people of colour fans that get the negative press a lot more. And like, if they do this, like if a black girl and a white girl did the same video, like they did a K-pop cover dance, then the black girl would be like insulted more than the white one. And I don't know, it just got me thinking about this whole thing, because I do have like a little group of friends that like K-pop with me, and most of them are hijabis. So it's like a nice little safe bubble for us. But it's like, some people don't have that little bubble where you can talk to somebody about it without being like, I remember literally people would always go to me, but why? Like, it's not like you understand the language. I'm thinking, I've heard you listen to Somali songs, and let's be real, no one actually understands Somali songs 100%. Like, you'll understand quite a few words, but no one ever understands it 100%, and you'll have like 5 different versions, everyone thinking they know what they're singing, but they're not. And I know people who don't speak Arabic, but they like Arabic music. I know people who don't speak Spanish, but they like Spanish music. I know people who don't speak French, but they like French music. So they don't get given any kind of labels, and it's just annoying, because then it means people aren't comfortable talking about the things that they like. So no, you know what you should try doing? You should try opening them, then you'll see. But yeah, so it just was a weird like thought I had today. It just kind of took over. Yeah, so it just I don't know. And then there was the fact that I was having a conversation with my students. Like, she is a really big BTS fan as well, and then we were talking, and then I think Dynamite played, and I told her, oh, I'm actually not that fond of Dynamite. Like, I don't really like it. Like, it's not a bad song, but I don't know, I didn't like the fact that they did it in English. Like, it seemed like they were just doing it to placate people when it wasn't really their best work. And she was laughing, she was like, oh my god, I feel exactly the same way. She goes, but if I ever say it to any of, like, she has this little group of armies that she hangs out with in school, and if she even says or thinks anything negative, like even her own opinion, they get upset. And she says she doesn't understand why she can't like or dislike songs, even if it's from a group that she likes. And I was like, you can though, it's normal, you're allowed to. Because you don't have to like every single song they do. Nobody says that. They don't even say that. And it's okay. So yeah, I was just like, I don't know, I just had a weird day today that I was just thinking about that and stuff. And then what was it? Oh, and then the controversy of NCT. They've got a new song called 90s Love, I think. The controversy is the stylist decided to put 3 of the members in do-rags. not just put them in do-rags, they put them in open do-rags that are not even tied. And like, people are trying to figure out why. Like, the SM stylists have been getting into trouble for such a long time for cultural appropriation, and you would think after all this time they would stop. Like, I remember when it was EXO's Wolf, Kai had cane rows, and he had cane rows with extensions, and people were like, what is going on here? But they're still not learning, they're still doing things like this. Who's it in Boom for NCT Dream? One of them, the one with the pink hair, he had cane rows too. And again, it's like, what were you thinking? This time they went for do-rags. And it's just like, there's just a whole side. The funniest thing is though, nobody blames the artists, because they know with SM they don't have much of a say in their styling. Like, some groups have a bit of autonomy and can actually decide what to wear and like what kind of style they can do, to a limit obviously. But with SM artists, then they're not given that autonomy or that freedom, so no one actually blames the artist. But the fact that they've got 3 of the members of NCT wearing do-rags, and then there was a picture of Kai in a Diamante do-rag, and I'm just sitting here thinking, Lord, why child, why? What is SM literally playing at? And then somebody was telling me, oh, it's because they have a lot of black producers. So what? So what if they do? They really should not be doing that. Like, what was the other bit of controversy? When they did Birthday Song, the Middle Eastern architecture. A lot of people were like, oh, the architecture is very similar to masjids and mosques architecture, but it can be used for regular buildings too. And they thought they had a prayer mat, but it was just a Persian rug, and it was close. But there was some Arabic on one of their stages. I can't remember which music show it was, but on one of the stages they had some Arabic, and apparently that was a dua, so I'm not quite sure. That one would be like a big no-no. So yeah, so it's just it's just SM not learning their lesson. Like, you would think they would go on the internet and listen to feedback and see, oh, you shouldn't have done that, but they keep doing it and they don't learn. And it's like, why have you not learned? Why have you not learned? Obviously a lot of artists have had their missteps in the K-pop industry. Luckily, most of them have learned from it and have not strayed again. But it's like, can we... It is 2020 now, come on guys, like, you have the internet at your fingertips. You could literally make an anon account and ask, if I do this, is this good or bad? And you'd find out real quick. A little market research will get you a long way. But yeah, so, I don't know, K-pop was just on my brain today. Because I haven't actually listened to any Korean songs in a while. I think the last song I listened to was... Because recently I've been going to like listen to like old school British pop. Not even the British, old school pop. So I've been listening to like old school boy bands. I'll be honest, it's old school boy bands. So Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Westlife, Blue. It's literally old school boy bands. And not even like old school. Yeah, that's the other thing. When my students tell me old school is like 2010, I want to hear them. I literally want to hear them. That's not old school. That's my uni days. But yeah, so welcome to my wonderful rant on... Actually, not even a rant, it was more of a intellectual discussion and issues with K-pop stereotypes. or K-pop fan stereotypes. But yeah, but that is day 26 done. Only 2 more days, and then I don't know, we'll only do a live stream every now and then, I guess. But yeah, I'll keep it going. Actually, I like it. I do enjoy it. It's quite fun. It maybe get over my fear of cameras. But yeah, thank you for coming, and Mr. Lee, I hope you figure out the reason why you can't see when your eyes are closed. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.